Welcome back, SethBling here. Mojang released the Week 22 Snapshot. It's sort of a pre-release build that they are previewing all the new features. One of the new features is Tripwires, which I think is really cool. It's a new Redstone activating device, so I always love that. Basically the way it works is you just put hooks on the walls, and if you step on the tripwire, it'll activate the redstone from the hooks. So this is one way to configure it. You can actually have them floating in midair. And so right now you can't seem to place string on the hooks themselves. You have to place them otherwise. But the string can just be free floating on its own, but it doesn't do anything unless it's hooked up to these hooks at the end. Now I can even just get rid of these hooks, and that'll trigger redstone. So let me just put the redstone underneath here. So yeah, you can see it triggers the redstone too. If you break one of the wires, it will also trigger the redstone. So you have to use shears in order to break the wire without triggering it. But there's some pretty cool stuff you can do with this. You can also sort of make a crisscross thing. And I'll do that real quick. And it will just basically trigger any wires that it's attached to on the ends. So you can see when I step over this one, it does that one. When I step over this one, it does that. When I step in the middle, it does both. It's pretty cool. And you can do this in midair too and everything. So I want to show you some of the stuff that you can do with this. First of all, DTV97 actually sent me a bug that comes with this. That's right, there's a bug in the new pre-release. There's actually a block transmuting bug. So if you have a tripwire like this and you just push a block into it, it's going to set the metadata value for the block to 0. So you can turn wool white, or you can turn stone brick into stone or whatever. I expect this will get fixed pretty soon, but just something interesting. One of the cool things you can do with this is you can detect the height of mobs. So if I go through this and I'm not jumping, it'll just, the bottom one lights up. If I'm like trying to swim, the two will light up, and so basically you can use this to detect the types of mobs. So let me grab, let's see, I need, ooh, there's all, that's right, they added the potions to the creative menu. Creative menu is pretty cool now, but that's not what this is about right now. So let me get a spider and a zombie. And so if you put a spider down here, oh, he's like freaking out. It'll only trigger the bottom one, but if you put a zombie in here, it'll trigger both of the bottom two. An Enderman would not like the water very much; it would teleport out. But you could also detect that if you had some different mode of transportation. But this is kind of cool because we haven't really had a good way to detect different kinds of mobs before without actually separating them into different pathways by having different shapes. So another neat thing you can do is you can use this as a jump detector. So you can hear the tripwire going off, but previously the way I've always detected jumps is with fence posts and pressure plates on top. That doesn't work very well if you want to have sort of a more free-form space. And so I often use a jump as sort of like in my mini games as like an action. And so when you want to perform an action, you jump, and this makes it a lot easier to do it without restricting the player's movement, keeping them against the fence post. That's pretty cool. One other way you can do it, one other way you can use this is with minecarts. So this minecart will be diverted off to the right if it's empty, but if I get in it, it'll go off straight. And it's a nice flat design. You could hide a lot of this, and that's pretty cool. Just another new way to detect an empty versus occupied minecart. Here's something you can do with it. You can track players or mobs, their coordinates. So if you'll notice the light on each wall is going to track me as I move, and this is what I was talking about with the crisscrosses and it detecting it properly. So it'll just, when you step on any of the wires, it'll just trigger any of the hooks that are on the walls connected to that wire. So if I step right here, it'll connect, it'll turn that one on, and that one on, that one, that one. And so you could use this for games. This is a lot like Etho's mob tracking system. and that's pretty cool. Let's see. Next is, here, I'm gonna actually take a second to turn this on. This is just like a little trap slash, I don't really know what to call it, but it's a lot. I mean, obviously you're going to use stuff like the tripwire for traps, but this is just kind of like overkill. So it'll turn on rapid arrow dispensers. So actually, if you're moving quickly, you can get by without them hitting you. But this thing shoots a lot, a lot of arrows very quickly using the dispenser update bug or whatever that causes the dispensers to shoot very rapidly. So just some kind of cool stuff you can do with tripwires. There's some other new features. There's like game mode 2, which is called adventure mode. You can't break any blocks or place anything. I'm right clicking right now, it's not placing anything. And that's really cool. I'm going to be using that in a lot of my games because a lot of them don't allow the player to place any blocks or anything. So looking forward to using that. And overall, just a really great pre-release snapshot from Mojang. I think there's a lot of cool features. There's some other stuff I didn't cover in this video with villager trading, and I'm going to be updating my MC-Edit script for the new villager trading, but it allows a lot more possibilities because you can combine multiple items into one. So if you want your own, like, if you want to require all the colors of wool for something, you can. Anyway, I'll get to it, but it's really cool now that you can trade multiple items for a single item. So yeah, that's some new stuff you can do with tripwires and the new snapshot. I'll link that stuff in the video description, and thanks for watching.